Welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday, where we're here to empower you to be the best version of yourself. Today, I have an expert in women's empowerment. I have talked to her a few times. I love her podcast as well. So let her introduce herself about what she did. Hi, Vivienne. So lovely to have you on my space today.
Hello, hello everyone in the group. I'm so thrilled to be here and Martha for having me. So I think I first know Martha from a mutual friend, and then she introduced Martha to me, and she was on my 100 Successful Women podcast. I'm so happy to meet Martha. She is so bubbly, and I love her work. So do you want me to introduce a little bit about myself as well, Martha?
Go for it, please do.
Okay, so I am a migrant from Malaysia. I came to Australia, I think, nearly 20 years ago. That's how long I have been here. And I'm a mom of two twin kids. So they are 11 and 14. And I am a women's empowerment coach and also a keynote speaker. I have a keynote speech, which is um, unleash your inner lioness, because I believe that each and every one of us have a lioness within us. And also I'm a talent and confident coach. So basically I help my clients to tap into their talents and tap into the strength so that they can become more confident and also to better understanding the people around them. But most of all is understand about themselves. So our
Mm.
children, our partners, and people around us, it would be so good if we can understand them in a different perspective and to be better communication with them. So that's
I
in nutshell
think
about
so.
me.
Yeah, I think that you're very right. I think a lot of us don't know how to harness our talent. And coming from a non-English speaking background, from an Asian background, we are always told that we need to be shyer, we need to be quieter, otherwise we're too noisy, too egotistic, and all of those labels. And that sort of thing does harm us in shining. And I think that a lot of us women being conditioned in that way. And I believe that by harnessing what is inside of us and break down all those belief system in ourselves, that's when everything change.
I love that. So true, Martha. Because literally, before I knew about these talents interpretation tools that I'm using, I didn't really know I know that everyone have their own personalities for sure. But then when I'm using these tools and using these tools to help my clients, especially you say that your personalities probably are louder. And a
Mm,
lot of children that is having a personality or the strength where they're supposed to be loud and out there, but because of, you say, we are from an Asian family, we were told to be that good girl, don't be too loud, sit properly, and behave like a girl, right? But then our personality is supposed to be out. That's how some of the children, especially with that personalities, they grow out to be a little bit sad or depressed and not being themselves. So it's so important to really learn about someone who they really are.
yeah, definitely. Like this will be a good questions to ask our audience. Have you ever feel like that you can't be who you are because you are controlled or tamed or shared by your parents? Have you ever felt that way? Feel free to put it into the comments then there if you actually ever feel that way. But like, looking at it from another point of view, we're women, we're a parent. We do find that sometimes all our knowledge as well is passed on from the previous generation to us. And I think that for this day and age in the modern world, we've finally been able to absorb a lot of new information of woman empowerment, of how to actually speak up and how to actually be heard and not to put label on ourselves unnecessarily. So I'm wanting to ask you a question. What are some of the challenges as a parent when we're trying to discover our kids or our like the people around us their talent?
Thank you so much for the question, Martha. as you all know, nowadays, we have limited time. We are so busy every single days. I think because of the life that we have, we probably we are overloaded with information. When our parents' time, probably they have so many time, so much time that they are able to just watch TV. But at the time now, we are so busy. Some of us busy with our business, with our job. That's why we probably it's hard for us to find a quality time to spend with our kids. I think I did speak to one of the lady the other day as well. She also wanted to spend more time with her children, but then because of the time, of the responsibility she have, she probably it's hard for her to find the time to spend with the children. That's our one of the challenge that us parents have at the moment. Sometimes we know that if we helping to find our talents of our kids or our strength, we were told that let the kids try everything so that they know what their interests are, what are their strengths in certain areas. But who have that lots of time, amount of time, and we'll spend a lot of money to try a lot of different things. I know that if we are from a very wealthy family, we can let our kids try every single things, right? So because that's how we get to let them try and know their talent. So that's why with the personality test or some of the tools that we're using, we are able to know our children in what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. In that way, we are able to allow them and to nurture their talents in a certain way. That's one of the challenge definitely is lack of time to communicate. So that's why we don't have like 1 or 2 hours to spend with our children, at least 20 minutes every single day to really have a better communication with them. I think lack of time is definitely one of the challenge, and the other one is information overload. Social media bombarded with these children with different information. So these are the two things, and I find it it's a big challenge for as I think for me as a parent.
Definitely, because we tend to gravitate to a lot of what we call shiny objects, and they go absolutely everywhere. And as a parent, we find it guilty when we can't provide our kids with something. It's like that we just simply financially cannot afford it, or we find that oh, it's just too many options there. Where do we go? And I think that you actually highlighted the two very good points that how people find it challenging being a parents onto it. So, from your point of view, how does like what is talent informed connection about? How is it different to other training that we have seen outside?
Definitely, there are a lot of parenting training as well. And one thing that I always agree with that, parenting doesn't come with a user manual. We don't when we have our first child, we don't have a user manual. We heard from people or from our own parents, how do we teach the kids, right? But then it's
Mm,
all when we are in the parenthood ourselves, we then realize that it might be so much different, right? So
mm,
the the coaching or the I help my clients to identify their kid strength. Why do
mm,
we focus so much on the strength? Because when we grow up, our parents always focus on our weaknesses rather than our strength, right? Um, when we get 80% on math, our parents might be saying, oh, so and so neighbors, they got 100% on that. But then they forget that you probably get 90% on another subject. We were so focused by our parents on our weaknesses. So instead of focusing so much on our weaknesses, we have to focus on our strength. If we tell that our kids praise them for their being good in their arts, in their singing or whatever, they will feel more confidence. So the one that the coaching tool that I'm using is to focus on their strength, telling them how can they nurture their strength so that they can become more confident. And also with that tools that I'm using, that also allow us to better understand our children in a different perspective, not only for children, but our partners as well. That's why the title is to seek understanding rather than being right. A lot of time we want to be right, but then everyone wants to be right. But if we see things from a different perspective, we are able to understand someone. We can see things from their perspective. And from that, I probably can give you a story about me and my daughters. So my daughter is she's 11 years old. The thing with me and her is that we have so similar personalities. If you can imagine, if you have a very similar personalities, and both me and her are very strong personalities, that's why we can clash a lot of time. Just like a Mars and an Earth, right? It can be when we clash, it can be crazy. But then if I understand her from her perspective, we don't want to label the kids from the talents or from the strength. We just trying to see her from a different perspective. Her personality is a storm. She is a storm, as you can imagine. Like the Monday that we just passed, I'm not sure you did face with the storm on Monday or not, Martha.
Yeah, it was a
Mon
big storm.
Yeah, it was a big storm, and that storm on Monday literally started when the school bell rang. So as you can imagine, I was soaking all in wet. It was so windy. So can you imagine a storm come quickly and it might last for a few minutes? So when I got back from school, the sun is out, but me and her is like all soaking in wet. So her personality is a storm. So she can be a bit crazy during the time when she is like in her moment. So when she in that moment, I know that that's the storm, her personality. So I just have to let her to get over it. And once she get over it, because if the more you get she get angry and you get angry, you can imagine that will be a big explosion, right? So all I have to do is I have to calm myself down and let her have a moment, and then just ignore her for that minute and let her get over it. And then she will calm down and she will come back to you to talk to you more calmly. So when we understand a child personalities and her that's how she going to take things for herself, you are able um to calm yourself down as well. If I have this hard conversation with her myself, I will get very upset myself as well. I'll get angry myself as well. But because I know that's her personality, I'm able to calm myself down to be able to have a better communication with her.
Mm, okay, gotcha. That really helps in that. So if may ask you another question over here, that like what are some strategy that you can become more in tune with yourself, like knowing that okay, I need to like retreat, let the storm pass before it going. What are some of the tips? Because I think that a lot of us with everything that's going on, we are starting to get overwhelmed to the point that one little touch and you explode. So how do we actually control ourselves in a better way?
Mm. Yeah, that's a great question, Amata. A lot of my friends were actually very surprised at Vivian, why are you so calm all the time? Because like the other day I was speaking with someone else, I can't remember who. I say I have to these tools or this because I have been on personal development since 2018 and I was my first client. If it wasn't because of the tools or the personal development journey that I have been on, I probably have already strangled my husband. I probably will got explored like a gazillion time already. So the things that help us to be in tune with ourselves, definitely when we are in that moment of there is a spark coming, there is an explosion coming, take a deep breath in. I think that's a lot of people know that taking a deep breath in, it's going to help you to slow things down. When you take a deep breath in, you clear your mind and you know that yes, it's very annoying. It's a very bad situation. But when you take a deep breath in and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you you hold yourself in a calm state, and you are able to see things in a different perspective. Yes, these people are so annoying, you feel like want to strangle him, but go away from that situation. Get away. Stay away from maybe seeing them, because their face is probably the most annoying things at the time. Go away from that. Have a time for yourself and ask yourself, is that, yes, he's very annoying, but being grateful is the things that we can help, because it's just in that split seconds when we give a different meaning to a certain things, able to in a different perspective. What did he do, or what did they do that deserve you to love them again? I know that it might be something that really, unless there are things that they are doing really hurting you, I know that there are certain things that people gone through in the group, especially there are things that people have they done that really hurt you. You just need to know that whether they still deserve you to love them or not. There are a lot of things when we see things a different perspective, you can tell that there are a lot of things that they have done that you should be grateful for. There are a lot of things that they have done that because when we get angry, we block our vision. But when we calm down, we are able to learn that you should be grateful of what they have done for you, and also have oops, sorry, I think I have a very noisy background there. Yeah, but then
Okay.
I wanted to say is that let go of expectation. That's the thing, because a lot of time, especially we expect our children to be um to be there, expect our children to, because we thought that our children um because we are the parents that should do whatever we told them to do. But then one of the I heard from one of the guru, which his name is Sadhguru. He mentioned that the children is not our asset. They only come to this world through us. So don't expect them to do what you told them to do. Don't expect them to live your dream. They are their own self. They are their own identity. They have their own life. You can share with them, but um you can't expect them to live your dream. So those are the few things. Calm down, breathe, and then let go of expectation and be in the gratitude attitude. That has been helped me so much in being zen and navigate life a little bit.
Easier, definitely. I love the fact that you say that let go of expectation, because that's what something that I share with my audience as well. That we can have requirement, we can have boundary, but we don't need to have expectation. Expectation comes from fear, control, and insecurity. So that's not the right place to ask someone for something. And who likes to be in control? Even your cat and dog doesn't. And to think about a human to actually being controlled by it, of course they will rebel, they will resent, and they will continue to build that resentment. So expectation is one thing that we should really let go of. And I love the fact that you said don't expect others to live your life. And I know that I'm a childless woman by myself, so I don't have a daughter that I can shake them up into, but I have a beautiful niece and nephew, and I do see that urge of wanting them to be better than me, have things that I didn't have when I was young. And I think a lot of that expectation, we turn it into a pressure for our kids. And that's the one thing that I'm truly grateful for my parents, that they didn't ask me to be a doctor, a lawyer, or accountant. That's what Asian always, like the free
Mm,
top career that we go to. I actually picked to be a marketer, a makeup artist, an
mm,
online coach, and they're still proud of me of what I do. And I think being a parent, that's how you can help your kids to shine, to
mm,
actually show their true talents, to let them explore as well. I think that as a parent, a lot of the times that we do try to protect. We're kind, we're lovely, we're beautiful, and we tend to have that protective nature. Especially as a mother, I protect my cat with my life too, even though I'm only a pet parents. But thinking about that it really makes a difference when you realize that is that control or is that compassion? That has
Mm-hmm.
completely different meaning on it. It may look the same to you, but for other people, they will receive it
Mm.
differently. So
So
when we
true.
understand that, that's when everything will change.
Yeah, that's so true. Being praised, like you say, the other day when I read something, it's about if we overprotective, you're actually giving them a lot of pressure. But then
Yes.
I wasn't thought about this when I have my first child. That's why I feel
Mm,
guilty for him because I wasn't on the personal development journey then. So he was very shy and timid. So it was different from my girl who is out. She's very outgoing. She's very open, and then she have that. She sometimes I feel that she's over saying that everyone else opinion is none of my business. So she can go out without combing her hair, and then she
yeah.
can go out any way she like. So I think it's good that lets the kids to be themselves as long as they don't do something that is dangerous, and as long as they have a good heart. And like I say, because I know her personalities well, I know that this is how she behave and why she do that. That's allowed me to see things in a different perspective. And even though we crash sometimes, but I know that I need to communicate with her in a different way. Instead of telling her, I have to ask her
Mm.
question.
I think so. It's just getting better communication onto it. Oh, it has been such a wonderful time talking to you, Vivian, here.
Thank you.
So, how do people reach out to you?
They can actually just send me a messenger on Facebook. I'm always active on Facebook. And also they can go to my website www.viviennefam VIVIENNEFAM.com. They should be able to find some of the work that I'm doing on there as well.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. I will put your contacts in the chat box later on as well. And thank you once again for giving us your valuable advice. And for everyone that who's listening and watching today, thank you for your attendance. We look forward to seeing you again next week on another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much.